Hey, welcome back. We're going to be wrapping up part one of the Book of Enoch talks or sessions, and it's part of my own little sect through aljohnsonfilms.com, which is controversial books slash banned books. I'm just wrapping up part one, as I've said. And one of the things, a few things I want to cover before I wrap this thing up is, uh, why was Book of Enoch taken out of the Bible? How was it a game changer? And what's some future shout outs or like some shout outs or what future projects I got going on right now or I got coming up. So, Book of Enoch, as I researched it, why it was taken out of the Bible. It's considered non-canonical or non-inspired by numerous churches. Well, what does that mean? Well, on one hand, it means that there are various scriptures in the Bible that contradict the Book of Enoch. Example of this would be like angels having sex with humans. Jesus, in a later book, describes angels as being non-sexual beings. And, there are a few more examples like that where uh, there are parts of the New Testament that contradict the Book of Enoch. And, I like to think that maybe that might be the case. Maybe Book of Enoch has nothing to do with actual scripture. Maybe it does contradict the Bible. Maybe it is kind of irrelevant. Just some weird like mystic book that popped up with the Dead Sea Scrolls. But I personally, and this is pretty crazy. Maybe it doesn't contradict it at all. Maybe Book of Enoch and Jesus' teachings in the New Testament, all that stuff, all the scripture, like all the scriptures in the Bible, maybe they all fit together. I mean, Jesus saying that angels are non-sexual beings, well, maybe now they are. Maybe now they are. And beforehand, when the earth was first created and everything, like back at the beginning of the earth and everything, maybe that surely wasn't the case. So, that could be a truth right there. There was some other stuff about like not just it being non-canonical, but just like the Book of Enoch is kind of an unsettling book. It's like an anomaly. If you were to insert that in the Bible, where'd you even put it? Like in Genesis, like right after Genesis, and then it's just there, just sitting there. You know, and then you get to Exodus. It's like, okay, all right, but what did it have to do with anything? And then you keep reading the Bible on and on, and you get to the whole contradictory points. I'm like, hey, wait, ho hum! I thought the Book of Enoch said this and that. What are you talking about? What is this book? This book crazy, man. That book don't know what it's talking about. Book drunk, dude. So, I guess that is another explanation because if you're reading the Bible straight through, Book of Enoch doesn't seem to fit like with the whole flow of what the Bible's trying to get at. The Bible's a pretty long story, but I mean, me growing up in a Christian household, my mom being like a reverend or a pastor of her own church, me growing up in a very Christian environment, a very radical Christian environment at that. And I'm talking about these are black people from the South with Baptist leanings, but they call themselves Pentecostal. So this is a super heavy Christian environment right here with very radical teachings. And I'm somewhat familiar with the flow of the Bible, like all the stories, every book. And I tell you, just from my base knowledge of it, it doesn't seem like it. Like it's just there, just whatever. I'm right here. It's like a sore thumb is sticking out. So it would make a lot of sense just to take that thing out and just like anyone who will want to research it or want to like, do more Bible study should read Book of Enoch. Then. And that's just my biggest takeaway of it, me, myself personally. After reading Book of Enoch and reading big portions of the Bible throughout my life, I said, well, I do see how it can all go hand in hand. That does make a lot of sense. I mean, if I was reading for the first time, Book of Enoch showing up, I think one of the things that would take me out of it was, Enoch getting all these premonitions about the future and God telling all the stories. I'd be like, whoa, hum, you told me the whole story. I don't want to read it no more. I don't know. But I think Book of Enoch has enriched me spiritually, which is the next point I want to get into. How was it a game changer as a book? how to define my spirituality, because Book of Enoch is a spiritual text. You're gonna get something out of it. I think, even if you non-believe yourself, even if you don't believe in anything about Christianity, you could be Muslim, you could be agnostic or whatever. But what it teaches is not only the burden and the gift of being used by God, but just the properties of good and evil. Evil don't. It doesn't have to be a boogeyman in the night. Evil can just be the corruption of good. As I explained before earlier, it could just be the pure, like I said, corruption, but also the pure, I guess, defiling of whatever God had ordained. It becomes a joke, it becomes a punch, it becomes evil, it becomes nasty to look at. He's like, look at all these trees, look at all this stuff. Oh, look, and then something happened, it became deformed, or like the trees are like dying, or like rotting out, or like look at all the, like you guys remember South Park? Like, look at South Park, and what are they called though? The woodland critters. And that episode in of itself, those characters they didn't freak me out, but I was very confused by it, just because I was unaware of like what they're trying to get at. But basically, you take the woodland critters, or take something like nice looking deers or rabbits, or like a Disney stereotypical like sort of animals like that, and you have them doing nasty things like having orgies, or like drinking blood, or torturing each other. It's like talking stuff like that, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of how good can become corrupted. It really broadened my vision, broadened my mind on just like what evil actually is. Evil is, how to say it. I don't know what show that's from, but one character describes it as the grease pit of the world, or the grease trap of the world. And I don't know if you guys ever worked in a kitchen before, like a burger shop or something, like a beef shop or like a fast food joint, but they have grills, and like a lot of grease coming from that grill going into the grease trap. And at the end of the day, you got into the grease trap. Every nasty, not just grease, but every nasty thing ends up in that grease trap. And I get that, because that's what evil is. It is the grease trap of the world. And you can think of the world as being, I guess, some sort of a premonition of hell, or some sort of, there's some people that do believe that hell is here on earth. So if that were the case, evil is living amongst us, and it takes like us putting on our special sunglasses, our special goggles, and seeing like in that movie They Live, just seeing them all around us and everything. It takes a different point of view, and you see it all. That's evil, not your carpetbagger sort of politician, not your fat cat, rich man in New York City, freaking what's he doing? Twiddling like. They got a long mustache, like the stereotypical villain. It's not that. Where you think of it like Satan, not even just directly Satan. Not even just that. Like the devil with his horns and his long tail and everything. It's like, or there's his cartoon pitchfork. Not even that. You get right down to it. I mean, evil can be a manifestation of our fears, but evil is, base in point, the corruption of purity, the corruption of things that were once good. So, or the perversion of things that were once good. So, that's what I want to leave you with in terms of like how it's a game changer for me. Also, like I said, it's a good read. It's a very spiritual text. You're gonna get something out of it, even if you didn't mean to. or just for entertainment purposes, you could read it or whatever. But I highly recommend Book of Enoch. Now, I'm not gonna lie, for a book that small, there's a lot packed in there. There's a lot of knowledge in it. So, with me, I had to read it, and I had to take my time with it. So that's what I recommend to you. If you don't just fly through it like the smart guy that you are, smart girl that you are, take your time with it. Just soak it all in. You don't need to read it all at once, man, because there's a lot of cool things being said in that book. And I think if you just took time to just read a passage and shut the book and think about what was just written to you and reread it, then you read some more, and then it'll just start soaking in for you. So that's my main thing that I want to give to you guys. Also, future shout outs to my fellow filmmakers out there. Matt Zuckerman, who is living in Los Angeles right now as an editor doing very big things. Shout out to him. Also, shout out to Corey Hart, the guy that you're going to be hearing from in part 2, for giving me this book. If you guys have any books that you recommend, go ahead, shoot me an email through my website, and maybe, hopefully, we can arrange for you to come on my show too and do a special guest spot here, and we can sit here and talk about the book because I love controversial books, I love banned books, I love fascinating books, and I like starting conversations. So I'm gonna leave you now. Go ahead, guys. Enjoy your nice winter, whether you are in sunny California like me or you're in the Midwest freezing your ass off. No offense to the Midwest, but it's too cold there, which is why I moved. Or you're in New York City, again, freezing your ass off, but it's New York. So, wherever you are, all right, see you guys. Till next time.